Let's talk about what the Browns did. I was a little bit disappointed, actually very disappointed, because while we was arguing over here about what somebody's evaluation of the quarterback was, that's no longer here, we could have been talking about what the Cleveland Browns was doing to bolster what that quarterback. See, AB already done told you. AB done told you exactly. AB did exactly what was needed. He invested and plugged holes in the offensive line. He did what was needed. When we came away from the season, what did we all say? Get you some linemen and receivers. What did we say again? Once again, the barbershop, I keep telling you what we talking about over here. We talked about receivers. By the way, we will get to our receiver breakdown. We got the finals coming up. We talked about receivers, and we talk about offensive linemen. What do the Browns do in free agency? Remember, free agency is not something that is end-all, be-all. It's to augment and to fill holes so that you can put yourself in the best position to do what you want to in the draft. AB did exactly what was needed. Now let's talk about the moves and the moves they made. Not quarterback speculation. What the moves say. Zion Johnson. Guard, Cleveland reached an agreement, 3-year, $49.5 million deal that includes $32.4 million guaranteed. The Browns were going to spend this offseason retooling offensive line with 4 week 1 starters hitting free agency. Mind you, no offensive linemen. This was the crazy part that we always talked about it. How is it that you don't have any linemen under contract? And we spent weeks talking about the quarterback, knowing good and well what it was. A week after agreeing to terms with Texans on a trade for Titus Howard, that's your right tackle, Cleveland addressed the interior of the line with Johnson. 26-year-old, right? They talk about him being the 5th lowest pass blocker with rate amongst guards, but registered the 2nd best run block win rate. The latter should be a welcome sight sign for Todd Monken, who wants to replicate the elite run game produced while he was an offensive coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens. In Chicago, you know what they did with Caleb Williams, right? They went and got massive amounts of offensive linemen. You saw what happened. See, what they were hoping would happen was Andrew Berry would actually listen to some of the dumb stuff y'all be talking about. We ain't got no offensive line, so let's take Mendoza. So when that didn't work out, you could have been like, well, he was so silly. He didn't draft linemen for 5 years. Kevin got fired. He needs to get fired too. No. Doesn't work that time. So we got Titus Howard, starter. Zion Johnson, starter, 26 years old. Let's continue down the pipeline, my guy. This is what we should have been getting to. Let's talk about, well, we ain't got no center. Linderbaum ain't coming? With Linderbaum ain't here? Let's get to the other Jenkins. Linderbaum ain't here. Oh. Let's drop another one on him. Sound like Khaled. Another one. Browns have agreed to terms with former Packers offensive line, a 2-year deal worth $24 million. The Browns made their 3rd external acquisition in Jenkins. Quickly agreeing to terms with him after release from the Packers, Jenkins made 2 Pro Bowls, not 1, but 2 Pro Bowls at left guard in 2020 and 2022, but he most recently played at center in 2025 before sustaining a season injury leg fracture in November. With left guard Zion Johnson already on board, Jenkins could slot into the center position vacated by Ethan Poches, who is a free agent. Jenkins registered a pass block win rate of 94.4 this past season. That tied for 16th out of 30 centers. His run block win rate is 70.6, ranks 15th amongst centers. All pro. He's done it 2 years. Another starter. Let's keep it pushing. You now have a new starter at right tackle. You got another starter at guard. You got a starter at center. Now get what you can do. Let's keep it pushing. This is what we should have been talking about. We didn't hear nothing. Why did we didn't hear nothing? We was talking about Kyler Murray. What else they do? They went back in and say, let's go ahead and re-sign Tevin Jenkins. You know, the Tevin Jenkins that they started playing over Wyatt Teller last year. Tevin Jenkins, you bring him back. Browns re-signed Tevin Jenkins, who started 4 games at right guard this late season. Jenkins also logged snaps at tackle, left guard, and right tackle. In limited action, Jenkins registered a pass block win rate of 94.4. That would have been 17th last season if he had enough stats to qualify. Now, he did struggle in win block rate as a runner, right? Limited sample size. Jenkins took over for Wyatt Teller, who will not return to Cleveland next season after a midseason benching. Now there's a chance Jenkins, a 2021 second-round pick, could be the Browns' full-time starter at right guard in 2026. Remember what I said? I said it on UCSS. This is about plugging holes. This is about figuring things out. And this is about stockpiling bodies so that you can put yourself in a position where Zach Zenner, if he gives you something, great. If Luke Whippler comes along and plays well, great. If DeJuan Jones comes back and does something, awesome. And what you can also do with this now is it puts you in a position that you could do a numerous amount of things. Noah, doctor, you could go defense. You could trade down. If Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles is on the board, you could do that. If you want to go up and get you a receiver like Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate or a Mekhi Lemon, you could do all those things. Everything is on the board for you. You could get your tackle. You could get the receiver. You got 2 first-round picks, but the thing you did is bolster the stuff to get the evaluation. You see, to even have an evaluation on the quarterback, you can't be doing stuff like letting people come through and blasting you in last plays of the game. At least give the kid the opportunity to give yourself an evaluation of the quarterback. To do so, you must do what? Solidify up front and solidify playmakers. Andrew Berry did exactly what was needed to be done. Let's continue to roll the beautiful bean footage. We just ain't about destroying narratives and tearing down walls that be of misconception. We talk about how we're building over here. The Cleveland Browns, if you missed it, if you weren't looking around it, they actually doing some things over here. Let's continue on. They missed on Devin Bush. I wanted to sign Devin Bush. I really did. But I talked to Charles Davis on UCSS the other day, and Charles Davis talked about it. He said, yeah, I like Devin Bush. He had a great year, career year. He was balling last year under what Jim Shorts was doing. He said, but if you want to take a look at Quincy Williams, and you want to look at Quincy Williams' best over his career, over what Devin Bush's best has been, Quincy Williams, his best is better than that. Now, he has to do it. He had a down year last year. But under Mike Ruttenberg, a.k.a. Rudy, he had his best year. What did we do? The Browns signed linebacker Quincy Williams to a 2-year deal worth up to $17 million, 150 defensive stops, and 50 tackles for loss since 2023, both first among linebackers. Small deal. You look at a guy that can move, can run. The dude is lightning quick. You throw him in with Carson Schlesinger, and now you got something. See, I was waiting for it to be like, yo, you lost Devin Bush, but they came right back and hit you with the Quincy Williams. I like the move. I like the move. No, we ain't done. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. They got a nice replacement for Shelby Harris. Cleveland signed former 49er to a 1-year deal up to $3 million. What it means, the Browns add depth along the defensive line with the signing to Davis, the 2022 6th-round pick, had 1.5 career sacks, but he also played the run very well in the 17 starts last season. These are starts. By the way, I watched his tape when the Browns played the 49ers. They did a very nice job up front. Davis recorded a run-stop win rate of 37 that ranked 19th out of all defensive linemen and was one spot behind Browns defensive tackle Mason Graham. Cleveland's run defense struggled a bit after Malik Collins' season-ending quad injury late in the season, so this could be an insurance behind him. By the way, this is my man, Oyefusi. Make sure you check him out. This is his work on ESPN, Browns beat reporter. Check Oyefusi out. This is his work. We took it. I like what he does. See how he keep this solid. He's a solid one. I like him. Quincy Williams, we talked about this earlier. They signed him to a 2-year deal. Replaced Devin Bush, the lone defensive starter, hitting free agency after he agreed to terms with the Chicago Bears. Shout out to Devin Bush. He resurrected his career. He had a heck of a year last year. In signing Williams, Cleveland reunites him with defensive coordinator Mike Ruttenberg, who coached Williams in New York and Jacksonville. The relationship should allow for an easy transition next to Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schlesinger. Both of those guys can move. They will be sideline to sideline. We continue to talk. What else we do? Cleveland Browns. Remember I talked about before in my mock drafts, I said we need to get another tight end. Well, the Browns made it. We went out and did it. They got a former tight end, and they've agreed to a 1-year deal. With longtime stalwart David Njoku not returning in Cleveland in 2026, the Browns find another tight end to pair with Harold Fenner Jr., who led the team in rookie reception. Stahl, 28, has not recorded more than 123 yards in the season, is known for more being a blocker. There you go. Remember what I talked about. I want another blocker to be in there. I don't necessarily want Harold Fenner Jr. getting beat up blocking when he's an elite pass catcher and a weapon. So we need another guy to come in here and be one of those dudes that could play a little fullback, that could play a little inline in the line of scrimmage, blocking. 28, look at this. 81% of the snaps have come from an inline alignment. First year coach Todd Monken uses a lot of two tight end sets, so Stahl can take over the inline snaps vacated by Njoku and continue to allow Fanning to move around the football field. Guys, if you just look at it, this is a lot what we talk about, right? We've been talking about some of these things the whole season. It's great to see the validation come. It's great to see the moves. It's great to see that the football is being back interjected into the game. See, we're not on tabloids anymore. It is time to tell them, G. Bush, let them know. We've turned the page. Have you? It's time for us to be adults and move on to the business of the future. This is a call for everybody. It's time to be adults. It's time to put your football hats back on. It's time to start getting and digging into these notes, digging into that playbook, digging into this offense, digging into that film work. I challenge people. The film is available for everybody. I challenge people. Get into the film room. Ask around. Y'all got resources. You got inside connections with these players. Get into the film work and ask. Hey, let's go over some film work. Hey, you guys got sources. I ain't saying that y'all cats don't got no sources. I ain't saying that you don't know nobody. But it's time to start using those sources wisely. Let's get into this film work. Let's get around to the league and talk about, I want to hear what Todd Monken was doing in Georgia and how he got those guys and different quarterbacks to work. I want to hear on the 12 personnel package with the Baltimore Ravens and how he was able to use that with Lamar Jackson and the run pass option. I want to know how he was blocking it up front. Was it a gap scheme? Was it a zone scheme? Was it outside, inside zone? That's what I like to know. How was he using Mark Andrews in the two tight end sets? How was he doing it? How does he utilize a fullback? These are all things that I would love to know. It's time for us to move. We better than this as a fan base. We better than this as a media room. Right now, we are stuck in a rut. We are now stuck in the rut. We've got to a point where now all we want to talk about is how bad the team is and how bad this is and how this sucks. Listen, guys, it's a time for everything. It's a time for, if you didn't notice, it's a time for tearing things down, but it's also a time to build. The Cleveland Browns are a young team. They are the new Cleveland Browns. They got a new coach, a new direction at the top with Andrew Berry, a new drafting philosophy because the draft last year was great, a philosophy of getting things done. They got a new stadium coming along. They got 2 first-round picks this year. They got new people that are interested and infused into the fan base that you can capitalize on, that you could market to, that you can bring along. They trying to revitalize what everything is moving. I give you a story. You guys were a lot of you guys that are in my age groups or older. You remember how it was with the Indians. They got Jacobs Field. They came with a new attitude. They came with Albert Bell and Kenny Lofton and Carlos Baerga and Jim Thome and Manny Ramirez. They came with those guys. They went out the Omar Vizquels of the world. They were spending money to get Robbie Alomar and Sandy Alomar, Dennis Martinez, Eddie Murray. If they had Eddie Murphy, that would have been funny. Eddie Murray, Dave Winfield, Paul Sereno. Huh? Think about that. They came with new uniforms, the best stadium, the best ballpark, state of the art, and they came with an attitude. They played different. They played with a swag. Albert Bell was intimidating people in baseball. Kenny Lofton was stealing bases. They played an exciting brand, and it took the city by storm. It took the whole industry by storm. The Cleveland Indians played a brand of baseball that we have not seen since. But you know what it took? A different mentality, a different mindset. We different, right? So you were here to see that. You were here in 2016 when LeBron and Kyrie took the NBA by storm. When they said, ISO ball won't work. My turn, your turn won't work. We beat the best team ever assembled coming back from 3-1. 40-40 on the road in Golden State when they was unbeatable. 3-1? Come on now. You saw it. But it takes different mindsets. They building something here with different mindsets. And I know this is the era of the celebrity. It may be a little disheartening. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is famous, but you should be used to it by now, right? Kim Kardashian is famous, super famous. Hey, Taylor Swift is uber famous. Actually, we got a president that became president because he was really famous. It's time to get with the times. If I can accept it, why can't you? See, the problem is you've been told something and you can't let it go. Thought is the most dangerous thing in the world. You know why? Because a thought can be a virus. If I tell you, don't think about pink elephants, what did you just think of? Pink elephant. Crazy how the mind works. That's why you have to renew your mind daily. You can't get fixated on things. Have you ever wondered why people deal with change poorly? Because they fixated and they stuck in their ways. The game has changed, guys. Media has changed. ESPN has changed. There's no Jim Romes anymore and Rush Limbaughs and Howard Sterns. The game is different. It's a little scary. Where do you find your place in the wild, wild west when there was only one game in town? Now it's 100 games in town. What do? Well, you find and you get back in love with what made you do it to start with. You get back in love with what made you want to write articles. When you was in school and you used to write articles just to write, and you turn it into your editor, and it was like, man, when they ran for the first time, you saw it, you're like, man, that's me. Those are my words. And people read your stuff in the paper. I know the paper ain't here no more. It's kind of scary. And you put you in a position where you got to stand out in a crowd of a bunch of people, guys that ain't as qualified or haven't written no articles. But you turn around and you see him. How is this guy getting viewed over here? This guy got 30,000 views, and this dude ain't never put no. Yeah, I know. I get it. And I'm not even being facetious. But what you got to understand is you got to question yourself, what are we here for? Are we here to talk about the team that we supposedly like and cover? Or are we here because we just stuck in a rut and this is just the only thing we know how to do? Because these people didn't come for that. They didn't show up for that. They come in here to hear you tell them about a team that they love. We got caught with an idea. And the idea was, I know the team is bad, and we went through 1-31, and the only thing we had was to describe how bad it was. But sometimes you can get stuck in a rut. And sometimes you got to understand, it ain't about destroying, it's about building. Team is young. Team got some exciting players. The question is, are you going to grow with the team, or are you going to fall to the wayside? You got two choices. That's all we got, because the game ain't never going to change. The game is always the game, always. The game ain't loyal to nobody. It's going to evolve. It's going to continue to evolve. Embrace that. One day there ain't going to be a G. Bush. It'll be another person who G. Bush. And he gonna take the world by storm. It's some dude somewhere that's 13 or 14 that all he want to do is sit on these sticks and talk about sports. And he going to do it in a way that's fun, creative, and it's going to be different. And he's going to be like, G. Bush takes his trash. Here go this new dude. It's the game. It's always a new hottest one. I'm sure Jay-Z saw Eminem come and say, oh, boy, this is crazy. I'm sure Eminem came around and said, dang, it's a dude named 50 Cent that's coming. And then when 50 got old, he's like, man, it's a whole dude named Drake. Then it's a dude named Kendrick Lamar. It's always going to be somebody new. But what do you do to reinvent yourself? All I'm saying is, guess what? You can always do it. Turn the page. Cover the team. All balls and strikes. Right now, it's getting played out. We got about 15, 20 more minutes before that arc close up. We opening the doors. Come on in. But don't let them aunties get at that door. You know how they act. Let's get to our super chat. Actually, we ain't even doing super. We will do super chats. I'm playing with you. I want to show you this really quickly. This is before we get to our super chats. This is the updated offensive roster. Let's see. Take a look at what we're doing. They even got DeJuan Jones right now left tackle, so that's great. Isaiah Bond is still in the mix. Cedric Tillman right now says he's starting, but I would expect we're gonna have some movement at that. I would say we're gonna have some movement right there. Zion Johnson at your left guard. E. Jenkins at center, T. Jenkins at right guard, Titus Howard at right tackle, Harold Fannin Jr. Shedeur Sanders is quarterback number 1, as you can see. And as we take a look at this, we got Quinshawn Jenkins. As you can see the depth chart right now. Retooled 3 new names. We got 3 new names: Howard, Jenkins, Johnson starters. Tevin Jenkins comes back, slides back into that slot. DeJuan Jones, we might be having another DeJuan Jones. If they draft the tackle, he'll be the starter. But DeJuan Jones is backup. Luke Whippler has some opportunity there. Zach Zenner. Levinston is still on the team. Now you see how you've built some depth. Harold Fannin Jr. Stall. You see how you built yourself some depth. So we just want to show you that really quickly. Also, I want to show you this as well. Shout out to my boy. You know I love him. Shout out to the route guide. Guess who is working with the route guide? I'm gonna tell you what. Jeudy done been in his bag. Let me see. Jerry, what you been doing?
Outside. Good.
Listen, you know what we looking at. If you know what shout out to the route guy. We might have to get you on. Can we get you on, dog? I've been watching you on YouTube. I watch you religiously. You got all kind of people out here.
Yep. Move. Yes, sir. Bye. Yep. Yes, sir. Outside. Good. Yes. Over. Good job. Yep. Yes. That bitch.
Yes, listen, you already know. Listen, hey, listen. If you on the route guide, if you know about my man, put the 1 in the chat. You know I'll be watching him on Instagram, bro. When he be like, yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, man, route, yeah. Put the 1 in the chat. Shout out to the route Jeezy, man. Yeah. That's it right there. That's it. Let's go. Yeah. Put them 1s in there. We didn't show all the 1s, Rosie. All the 1s. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, if you ain't put, I feel like it was a receiver. If you didn't go to Florida and you back in this rant, I don't know whose mansion this is. If you didn't go to Florida and get behind here with that mansion and put that work in, and he like, now. Oh, hold on. I tripped. I was moving my shoulders way too much. I'm moving my shoulders way too much. Oh, that hurt. Oh, goodness. Let me chill out. I'm laughing too much, too. But yeah. Listen, man. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody moving out here, bro. That's where I know. You see what I'm open. The barbershop sign is open. I keep the fresh fades and all the cuts coming. Thank you for all the well wishes and prayers. And as always, have a good rest of your weekend. And as always, you know what I do. It is always go Browns.